What's up, YouTube? It is your girl Latrina, and I am back again today with another tarot spread read. Starting off with the courtship in the reverse. Also with the death card. Something has come to an end with these two being the first two cards out. That speaks of a breakup of a relationship whenever you see that courtship in the reverse. Coming out also with the death card. That definitely speaks of a breakup. And then we got the Eight of Swords coming out also in that first row. Which, that Eight of Swords can be a breakup due to someone maybe getting locked up. Because if you can see in this card, this man has this young lady locked up inside of a jar. So that does tell me that someone may be locked up. And someone may be breaking up in a relationship. Because we do get that death card also. With all three of these coming out in the first row, along with the Ace of Swords in the reverse. And now everybody should know by now, and if not, the Ace of Swords, it usually represents truth. And when it comes out in the reverse, that's definitely going to be representing a lie. Something is a lie coming out in this first row. And I'm not sure if due to some lies, maybe someone's getting locked up and maybe they had to go through a breakup and maybe even up including a death resulting from these lies. Because then we next get the community card coming out in the second row, the very first card. And then we get the gift card coming out in the reverse. So that tells me that maybe this is dealing with the community that may be getting locked up. And then we got the Magician also coming out in that second row in the reverse, which does speak of spell work, spell casting and black magic and witchcraft, things like that. Because we do also get the Seven of Cups coming out in that second row with the message of the witness on there, on top of that card. And it looks like there may be someone going, getting locked up in jail or some kind of, I'm assuming jail, because we do got the Ace of Swords in the reverse due to some lies and due to a courtship, a breakup, It may be getting someone locked up. Maybe there was some altercation during this breakup. And I'm hoping that it didn't lead into someone's death, because we do get the death card with that. And it shows that there was some manipulation and some magic even that was being practiced. And it has to do with dark magic, black magic, or whatever you want to refer to that as. And it's regarding a community, something that someone witnessed, due to witnessed while someone was maybe even drinking. Someone may have witnessed something due to regarding some black magic and manipulation. And someone also witnessed something about this community. There was a witness in this community this witness did observe or even partake in some black magic or spell casting or even just manipulation, upon this community. And I'm assuming that this black magic, was a part of manipulating this community. But there was actually a witness to some of this practices and activities. And it's regarding a gift also that someone did not attain. This gift was not attained due to, by using this black magic and manipulation. And even trying to keep someone in a delusional, they probably tried to keep this community under illusions and delusional spells using black magic. That's how they kept the community in illusion. There's been a death to that. And there's also been a death to this gift. And there's also been a death to some kind of a courtship. It could be a relationship. And someone did even get locked up about these lies, some lies. And that was a part of the actual illusion and the misdirection and the manipulation. It was these lies that was told, was a part of that. And these lies had everything to do with a house that did come out in the reverse, which does speak of maybe them not, or receiving a house, because you see they didn't receive a gift that they were using black magic to attain. This gift and this house both come out in the reverse, which does depict that they did not attain this gift. This community, and I'm not sure, this community may have been looking for a gift also because of some black magic that was being cast upon them and some manipulation that was even being done upon this community. Because we got the unexpected joy card that comes out. They were expecting some unexpected joy regarding this house, because they do come out in the same row. And they were expecting unexpected joy, and they were expecting a victory, because we get the Six of Wands coming out. So whatever spells and black magic and manipulation that was being practiced to attain a house and to attain this gift also, it wasn't achieved, because all this stuff is coming out in a reverse. This house is in the reverse. So there was a tower upon this house and this situation that they were expecting a victory, because this Six of Wands depicts a victory. They were expecting a victory, and they were also expecting that unexpected joy that would come from getting this house, from gaining this house, property. There's a tower upon that situation. And then we get this Hanged Man coming out in that third row as the very last card, showing that someone is caught up about this house. And they are probably seeing something from another, perspective also whenever you see that Hanged Man. And anytime I see the Hanged Man, I also know that that's been a snare trap. Someone got caught into a snare trap. And then we get the Adjudication card also coming out in that fourth row, which speaks of court, judges, and attorneys and different matters that do go before a judge. And then we get this lover card coming out in that fourth row, right with the judge. And maybe there are two lovers before a judge, because if you can see, there's a man and a woman that are getting this adjudication, and they're coming out as the lovers. And then we also had a courtship card as the very first card. So it looks like this courtship has gone before the judge with these lovers. And then we get the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, which usually speaks of, someone holding on, but someone had to let something go whenever you see that come in the reverse. And I'm assuming this adjudication is what caused this person to have to let something go. And it may be regarding some money, a gift, even some property that they had to let go of. Because we do get the Knight of Cups coming out also in that very fourth row, with the message of the vampire on it. And so the Knight of Cups usually, it brings in messages of love. And no, that's not the page. The Knights usually bring in swift action, swift movement. And the movement is probably an emotional movement, some type of an emotional offer by a vampire, a bloodsucker, some type of a narcissist and bloodsucker, somebody that doesn't want to let something go. But they're forced to let something go because that Four of Pentacles speaks of it. Also, this adjudication speaks of letting something go. And probably it's regarding a lover. They had to probably let a lover go because we did have this courtship in the reverse in the very first row, and we did get a death to this situation that we're speaking of. The death came out in the very first row. Also, incarceration came out in the very first row because of some lies. Some lies probably coming from this vampire, this Knight of Cups individual, who is now, he was expecting this unexpected joy in the form of this house, property. But see, that's in the reverse. So this unexpected joy, but that was expected, and this victory, it's got someone caught up into the hangman position at this point, and no victory because of this adjudication. The adjudication didn't go in their favor. They didn't get a victory, and they have to let something go. Probably being a vampire, they're going to have to let go of that if they're going to get ready to get locked up. But there's probably plenty of blood in that place. Plenty. And then we also come out with this Eight of Cups in the reverse. And that Eight of Cups usually speaks of walking away from something, a very emotional. But then when you get that card in the reverse, it speaks of walking into something. And I'm assuming whatever this individual is walking into, it may not be with this Seven of Wands. That speaks of deception. So he walked right into deception, probably in search of something pretty valuable. They were seeking a pot of gold, a reward, a jackpot. That's what they were seeking. But they were deceived, and they walked right into probably some adjudication. Well, you see this house is in the reverse again. So this deception walked them right out of this house, is what the truth is, because we get this house in the reverse twice in this tarot spread here. It comes out reversed twice, which that tells me that they didn't attain this house, that they did actually try to go, to battle for this. And then we get the Lover's card again. And we just get it twice in this read today, which I don't like to do any type of reads dealing with a relationship message, or there's certain type of read you just don't want to do. But you cannot avoid that this card came out twice. And then we got that courtship card also in that very first row. These lovers, they seem to be a topic of discussion in this spread. They were probably working on trying to attain this house. They were using spell work, manipulation, lies, and they were even using the community to attain this house, this rare, rare thing. And they were using magic and, illusions. They were casting illusion spells upon the community, hoping to receive unexpected joy. And they were hoping to receive a victory. But instead, they got themselves in the hangman position, which in the traditional tarot is an individual that's hanging upside down inside of a noose. They're upside down and inside of a noose about this house. That's what's got them upside down and inside of a noose. These lovers is who we are referring to. Because everything was a great deception, the great deception. They had to walk away from this deception, from this great deception, trying to attain this house before this court, because we got that adjudication card. It lets me know that this issue is before a judge.